Imagine waking up, checking your account, and seeing that your life savings, thousands, maybe millions of dollars, are completely gone. Not because the market crashed, not because of a sophisticated Russian hack, but because the only person on earth with the password to your money is dead. In 2018, Gerald Cotten, the 30-year-old CEO of Canada's largest cryptocurrency exchange, traveled to India for his honeymoon. Days later, he was declared dead from a sudden stomach illness. With him died the digital keys to $250 million of customer funds. At least, that's the official story. Because when investigators finally managed to crack open those highly secure digital vaults, they didn't find locked-away crypto. They found absolutely nothing. The vaults had been empty for months. This isn't just a story about a lost password. This is a story of fake identities, a multi-million-dollar Ponzi scheme, demands to dig up a grave, and the biggest question in crypto history: is Gerald Cotten actually dead, or did he pull off the ultimate escape? To understand how $250 million vanished, we have to go back to a time when Bitcoin was making everyday people overnight millionaires. 2017. Everyone wanted in, but buying crypto was complicated. Enter QuadrigaCX, Canada's premier crypto exchange. At the helm was Gerry Cotten. Gerry wasn't your typical Wall Street shark. He wore khakis, flew a drone, and smiled like the IT guy who fixes your router. People trusted him. He claimed that to keep everyone's money safe, he stored the majority of the funds in cold wallets, offline hard drives disconnected from the internet, completely unhackable, and he was the only one with the keys. But there was a dark secret lurking in the foundation of Quadriga. Gerry's co-founder, a guy named Michael Patron, wasn't just some tech bro. Net sleuths later discovered his real name was Omar Danani, a convicted felon who had served time in a US federal prison for identity theft and money laundering. But by the time people figured that out, it was too late. In 2018, the crypto bubble burst. Bitcoin plummeted. Panicked investors rushed to Quadriga to withdraw their cash. But the withdrawals started stalling. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Users were begging for their money. Gerry blamed it on banking issues, claiming Canadian banks were unfairly freezing their accounts. But behind the scenes, Gerry was panicking. In December 2018, just as the legal walls were closing in, Gerry did three very strange things. First, he drafted a brand new will, leaving all his assets, millions in real estate, cars, and a private jet, to his new wife. Second, he left $100,000 strictly for the care of his 2 chihuahuas. And third, he boarded a plane to Jaipur, India. Just 9 days after signing his will, Gerry was dead. The cause? Complications from Crohn's disease, a chronic illness that is extremely rarely fatal for a 30-year-old. His body was embalmed rapidly, returned to Canada, and buried in a closed casket. But his wife didn't announce his death to the company or the public for over a month. When she finally did, all hell broke loose. Over 100,000 users realized their money was locked inside Gerry's encrypted laptop. The Supreme Court appointed an investigative firm to hack into Gerry's laptop and find the cold wallets. And they did. They finally broke through the encryption. But the $250 million wasn't there. Gerry hadn't lost the crypto. He had stolen it. Investigators discovered that for years, Gerry had been creating fake accounts on his own exchange, crediting them with fake money, and using them to gamble with real customers' crypto on other platforms. He lost tens of millions in bad trades. Quadriga wasn't a business, it was a Ponzi scheme, and Gerry was running the entire thing out of coffee shops on his laptop. This revelation blew the case wide open, and investors immediately asked the obvious question: did a 30-year-old multi-millionaire con artist conveniently die of a stomachache in a foreign country right before his Ponzi scheme collapsed, or did he fake his death? The theories exploded. India has a known black market for fake death certificates. Gerry was an expert in digital privacy and encryption. The embalming process happened so fast that no independent autopsy was done. To this day, the lawyers representing the victims have formally requested that Gerry's body be exhumed to prove it's actually him in that grave. As of now, the Canadian police have refused. To this day, over $160 million remains completely unaccounted for. Gerry Cotten is either the worst crypto trader in history who took his secrets to the grave, or he's sitting on a beach somewhere, watching this exact video. In the crypto world, there is a famous saying, "Not your keys, not your coins." The Quadriga tragedy is the ultimate, brutal proof of that rule.